Let me introduce you to the inspiring Stoic philosopher, Epictetus. His life journey is a testament to the transformative power of Stoic principles. Born into slavery and confronted with adversity from the very start, Epictetus rose above his circumstances in a profoundly Stoic manner. He refused to let external conditions define his inner world and instead focused on what he could control: his thoughts and reactions. His philosophy encapsulates the core Stoic concept that we have power over our minds, not external events. Epictetus's journey didn't end in adversity. He later became a prominent philosopher, teaching Stoicism and inspiring countless individuals. His teachings revolve around living in accordance with nature and mastering our desires. They offer a guide to finding peace and contentment, regardless of life's challenges. When you find yourself grappling with life's difficulties or seeking a deeper sense of purpose, think of Epictetus. His life story and Stoic wisdom can illuminate your path, providing you with resilience and inner strength. If you're here and reading this, consider yourself different from the majority, an exception. Embrace this opportunity to explore the wisdom of Epictetus without skipping any part of the content. You're on a unique journey of self-discovery, and every insight you gain from his philosophy can be a valuable tool for navigating life's challenges with grace and fortitude. 1. Amor fati. Embrace your fate. Amor fati is a key concept in Stoicism, a philosophy that originated in ancient Greece and Rome and has been gaining popularity in recent years. Stoicism teaches that we should focus on what we can control and accept what we can't. This includes our own thoughts, emotions, and actions, but also external events that are beyond our power, such as illness, death, or other people's behavior. Amor fati takes this idea one step further. It means not only accepting our fate, but embracing it with enthusiasm and gratitude. Instead of resenting or resisting what happens to us, we should see it as an opportunity to grow, learn, and become better human beings. We should say yes to life, even when it's difficult or painful, and trust that everything happens for a reason. Amor fati is not about fatalism or passivity. It's not about giving up or resigning ourselves to a predetermined destiny. It's about taking responsibility for our own lives and making the most of every situation. It's about finding meaning and purpose in adversity and using it as a catalyst for personal transformation. Amor fati is also not about denying our emotions or pretending that everything is fine. It's about acknowledging our feelings, but not letting them control us. It's about cultivating a sense of equanimity and resilience, and seeing challenges as opportunities to practice virtue, such as courage, wisdom, justice, and compassion. 2. Serve others. Contribute to the common good. One of the key teachings of Stoicism is to serve others and contribute to the common good. Serving others is a virtuous act that helps us cultivate our own character and become better people. It also allows us to strengthen our connections with those around us and contribute to a more cohesive society. Serving others gives us a sense of purpose and meaning in life. It allows us to make a positive impact on the world and leave a lasting legacy. Examples of how to serve others include volunteering, doing random acts of kindness, and donating money or resources to a charity or organization that helps others. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of living in harmony with others and being part of a larger community. It is also wise to make sure that one doesn't invite unnecessary problems by helping others. The threshold of unnecessary is situationally specific and should be fully considered. Stoics should consider their own priorities and review the arguments for different means of service. 3. Memento mori. Remember your mortality. Memento mori is a Latin phrase that means, remember that you will die. It is a concept that is central to Stoicism, a philosophy that emphasizes the importance of living in the present moment and accepting the inevitability of death. The idea behind memento mori is to remind oneself that life is short and that we should make the most of the time we have. It is not meant to be morbid or depressing, but rather a way to appreciate the preciousness of life and to focus on what is truly important. There are several exercises that Stoics use to practice memento mori, such as imagining oneself on one's deathbed, reflecting on the brevity of life, and contemplating the impermanence of all things. By remembering our mortality, we can live more fully and with greater purpose. It can help us to prioritize what is truly important in life and to let go of trivial pursuits. Thinking about death can have its benefits. It can help us to find inner peace and to come to terms with our own mortality. Memento mori is not about dwelling on death or being afraid of it. It is about accepting death as a natural part of life and using that acceptance to live more fully and with greater purpose. 4. Self-discipline, your internal compass. Self-discipline is an essential part of Stoicism, which is a philosophy of life that emphasizes developing strategies and habits of training and self-discipline for times of excess as well as for times of hardship. It is not about being detached from the world, but about approaching it in a radically different way. The most valuable things are those that are within our control, and we should not waste energy on things that are not in our control. Stoicism has been very influential in modern disciplines, such as CBT and logotherapy. The Stoics believed that there were 4 core virtues that could be used as a compass to guide a good life: wisdom, temperance, courage, and justice. They also believed that discipline serves as an inner compass that keeps us anchored to our goals and values. Discipline leads us on an inner journey of self-discovery and personal growth. Ultimately, discipline is not about depriving ourselves of comfort and enjoyment, but about freeing ourselves from the chains of impulsivity and desire that would otherwise control our thoughts and actions, dragging us into a life we did not choose. 5. Morning routine, your blueprint for success. A morning routine is a great way to incorporate Stoicism into day-to-day life and become a natural part of how we live. The ancient Stoics are best known for their practical approach to personal philosophy and their search for ways in which we can live more happily, more resiliently, and with greater peace of mind. Here are some ways to incorporate Stoicism into your morning routine. Mindfulness meditation. This is a practice that Marcus Aurelius began towards the end of his career, deep into a conflict on the borders of the Roman Empire. A journal that's now been translated and published. Mindfulness meditation can help you focus on the present moment and cultivate a sense of calm and clarity. Exercise. Exercise is not a uniquely Stoic practice, but it does complement the values we're looking to build. It provides a needed kick to wake up properly in the morning. As Socrates said, no man has the right to be an amateur in the matter of physical training. It is a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable. Cold showers. One modern method of voluntary discomfort is starting each morning with a cold shower. Implementing cold showers into your daily routine can not only build the mental and physical fortitude that Stoics strive for, but they also promote fat loss, reduce depression, lower stress, and improve circulation. Gratitude. As soon as you wake up, put a smile on your face and summon feelings of gratitude. It will put you in a great frame of mind for the day. Seneca said, "As each day arises, welcome it as the very best day of all, and make it your own possession. We must seize what flees." Plan. Plan your day, and execute your plan as best you can. Nothing will ever go as you plan, so learn to adapt and overcome these obstacles. Not letting things affect your emotions or actions is a very useful Stoic practice. Incorporating these habits into your morning routine can help you cultivate a sense of calm, clarity, and resilience throughout the day. 6. Essentialism. Simplify your life. Essentialism is a concept that encourages individuals to focus on what is truly essential in their lives and eliminate everything else. It is a way of simplifying one's life and increasing productivity by being selective about what one chooses to do. The book Essentialism by Greg McKeown is a million-copy bestseller that provides a new set of principles to operate by. The book compares essentialist with non-essentialist practices and encourages readers to identify everything in their lives that is not important and cut it out. The core idea of essentialism is embedded in one beautiful and utterly clear graphic that shows 12 arrows for the 12 hours in your day. In one case, they all point in different directions, and in the other, they all point in one direction, showing the magnitude of focus. Stoicism is an ancient Greek philosophy founded by Zeno of Citium around 300 BCE that teaches us to focus on what we can control and accept what we cannot. At its core, Stoicism is about cultivating resilience, wisdom, and inner peace in the face of life's challenges. By embracing Stoicism's wisdom and minimalism's clarity, we can create a life that is truly meaningful. The principles of Stoicism and minimalism have emerged as beacons of clarity and wisdom in our fast-paced lives. These philosophies, while distinct in their approaches, share a common goal: to simplify our lives and cultivate a sense of purpose and contentment. By embracing these philosophies, we can escape the cycle of constant desire and comparison that often leads to discontentment. Instead, we find contentment in the present moment and in the simplicity of our lives. The journey toward a more stoic and minimalist existence is a lifelong one, filled with growth and self-discovery. But the rewards are boundless, a life rich in meaning, wisdom, and inner peace. 7. Adaptability. Embrace change. Adaptability is the ability to adjust to new conditions and situations. Stoicism is a philosophy that emphasizes focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you cannot. By embracing change and adaptability, practicing resilience, and focusing on what you can control, you can create effective strategies that connect with your audience and drive long-term success for your business. The Stoics recognized that change is a constant in life and encouraged us to be adaptable and flexible, no matter what life throws our way. Change is not something to be feared, but rather, it is an opportunity for growth and self-improvement. By focusing on our thoughts and our perspective, we can choose to see change as a positive and embrace it with open arms. Embracing change also requires us to let go of our attachment to the past and to things that may no longer serve us. It may mean letting go of old ways of thinking, trying new things, or even stepping outside of our comfort zone. But by embracing change, we open ourselves up to new possibilities and experiences that can enrich our lives. By cultivating an open and adaptable mindset, we free ourselves from the constraints of rigid thinking and the suffering that comes from being unable to accept a change in our circumstances. Recognizing that every change, whether positive or negative, offers an opportunity for growth and learning, we can develop a greater sense of adaptability. In conclusion, embracing change and adaptability is key to living a fulfilling and meaningful existence. By focusing on what we can control, practicing resilience, and cultivating an open and adaptable mindset, we can create a more balanced and fulfilling emotional landscape and become more resilient to the negative impact of change. 8. Action over information. Turning dreams into reality. Stoicism is a philosophy that emphasizes ethics, rationality, and inner peace. It teaches that our thoughts and perceptions are powerful and can influence our reality. The Stoics believed that our perceptions can be a source of strength or weakness, and that we must learn to limit our passions and their control over our lives. They also believed in finding purpose and meaning in our work, and that we should focus on what we can control. The discipline of perception, action, and will are central to Stoic philosophy. The book, The Obstacle is the Way, by Ryan Holiday, is an exploration of Stoic philosophy through the lens of the famous quote by Marcus Aurelius: "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." The book is packed full of stories and anecdotes that illustrate the timeless Stoic lessons from some of the greatest men and women who have ever lived. The Stoics believed that our dreams and desires should be limited, and that perceived problems in life are due to errors in judgment about those problems. They taught that if we change our attitude, the pain of those external factors can disappear. 9. Tolerant with others, strict with yourself, balancing compassion and self-improvement. The quote, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself," is attributed to Marcus Aurelius and is often associated with the philosophy of Stoicism. This quote means that we should be understanding and compassionate towards others, even if they behave foolishly or irresponsibly. We should not judge them or try to control their behavior, as that is outside of our control. Instead, we should focus on our own behavior and strive to improve ourselves. We should be disciplined and strict with ourselves, especially when it comes to our reactions and emotions. This quote emphasizes the importance of balancing compassion and self-improvement, which is a key aspect of Stoicism. Stoicism is a philosophy that teaches individuals how to live a life of tranquility and happiness through rational thinking, self-reflection, and self-improvement. It was founded by the ancient Greek philosopher Zeno of Citium in the early 3rd century BC and gained popularity in Rome during the 1st century AD. The core principles of Stoicism are based on 3 fundamental concepts: wisdom, ethics, and self-control. Stoicism promotes empathy and understanding in our interpersonal relationships. Of chief importance is the ability to listen to others in a way that acknowledges their own values, beliefs, and autonomy. Stoicism focuses on organizing our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors in a manner that cultivates tranquility. Therefore, the compassion that Stoicism promotes is not primarily concerned with issues of social justice and systemic change, but instead focuses on personal transformation. 10. Resilience, bouncing back from life's challenges. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks and difficulties. It's an essential trait that can help us navigate the challenges of life with grace and strength. The philosophy of Stoicism offers a wealth of wisdom when it comes to building resilience and weathering the challenges that life throws our way. Stoicism dates back to ancient Greece and centers around the idea that we should focus only on what we can control and accept everything else as it is. Essentially, the Stoics believed that life is full of ups and downs, and it's our job to stay strong and steady regardless of the circumstances. Resilience plays a key role in this philosophy, as the Stoics believed that building mental and emotional toughness would help us stay grounded and centered in the face of adversity. By practicing Stoic resilience, we can cultivate resilience in our day-to-day lives and build a sturdy foundation for the future. Resilience is not just about bouncing back from adversity, but also about learning and growing from our experiences. The Stoics believed that every challenge we face is an opportunity for growth and self-improvement. By embracing challenges and setbacks as opportunities for learning, we can develop a growth mindset and become more resilient in the face of future challenges. Stoics practice resilience, self-discipline, honesty, and fairness to overcome adversity, make good choices, build trust, and create a more just world. Forgiveness and humility are important in Stoicism as they help release anger and resentment, promote compassion, and foster self-awareness and openness to learning. According to Stoicism, being courageous, persistent, and patient in the pursuit of goals will help overcome adversity and achieve them, even if it takes time and effort. 11. Empathy, understanding others. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. Stoicism is a philosophy that emphasizes the importance of controlling one's emotions and focusing on what is within one's control. While some may think that Stoicism and empathy are incompatible, research and philosophical writings suggest otherwise. Stoicism does not require one to be unfeeling or cold towards others. In fact, the philosophy promotes empathy and understanding in interpersonal relationships. A recent study found that moderate Stoicism stresses the cultivation of empathy, given humans' innate connection to those around them. By learning to control one's emotions, a Stoic individual can become a well of comfort to others and be a big help for them. Stoicism focuses on personal transformation, and empathy can be a crucial component of this process. By considering other people's perspectives, we gain a more complete understanding of the world around us and can make more informed decisions. This can lead to greater peace of mind and a deeper sense of happiness. Stoicism promotes the idea of treating all people with the same amount of care as we treat our own body and mind. This is an idea central to the philosophy. Instead of being pained by others' pain, Stoicism encourages us to wish that they benefit and to try to help them. 12. Mindfulness, being present in the moment. Mindfulness is the practice of being present in the moment and fully engaged with one's surroundings. In Stoicism, mindfulness is about seeing what is up to you in any given situation, focusing on doing that well and on doing the act with kindness towards others. Stoicism is not just a set of beliefs or ethical claims, but a way of living that involves consistent training and practice, incorporating the practice of logic, contemplation on the finite nature of life, and the use of core values to guide one's actions. Stoic mindfulness is distinctively Stoic because it is about focusing on what is up to us as rational social beings, which is to keep trying to place ourselves in the good, which is virtue, and something naturally benefiting. Stoicism offers an immediate, useful, and practical way to find tranquility and improve one's strengths of character. The Stoics practiced what are known as spiritual exercises and drew upon them for strength, such as practicing misfortune, differentiating between what we can change and what we cannot, and seeking clarity and simplicity in life. Ultimately, Stoicism is about helping us overcome destructive emotions and act on what can be acted upon, and it is built for action, not endless debate. 13. Purpose, guiding your life. Stoicism is a philosophy of life that aims to help individuals find tranquility and improve their virtues of character. The ultimate goal of Stoicism is to develop the mind to such an extent that the practitioner would reach a state of being called eudaimonia, which is a state of enduring happiness and tranquility of mind that comes from being a virtuous person. Identifying and pursuing a purpose can be a tricky subject to navigate, but Stoicism can help. The most important thing is to start asking questions and to use philosophy as a compass, because it's nice to have a direction. The main goal is to find that drive from within and not to worry about what the rest of the world thinks or expects of you. Creating your own philosophy and values will keep you on your path and will be a good base to fight temptations and protect you from excess. If the question of purpose overwhelms you, then break it down into chunks. Try to be the best version you can be and aim for that peaceful existence. You'll know when you're on track if you truly get to listen to yourself. Stoicism is built for action, not endless debate. It doesn't concern itself with complicated theories about the world, but with helping us overcome destructive emotions and act on what can be acted upon. Stoic writing is much closer to a yoga session or a pre-game warm-up than to a book of philosophy a university professor might write. It's preparation for the philosophic life, where the right state of mind is the most critical part. Stoics practiced what are known as spiritual exercises and drew upon them for strength. 14. Continuous learning. Never stop growing. Continuous learning is an essential aspect of personal growth and development, and Stoicism provides practical tools for self-enhancement. Here are some key takeaways on continuous learning from a Stoic perspective. Embrace challenges. Stoicism teaches that challenges are opportunities for growth and that we should embrace them rather than avoid them. Set clear learning goals. To make the most of our learning opportunities, it's important to set clear goals and objectives for what we want to achieve. Focus on what's within our control. The Stoic principle of the dichotomy of control reminds us to focus on what's within our control, such as our thoughts, beliefs, and actions, rather than worrying about what's beyond our reach. Reflect on our actions. Stoicism encourages us to reflect on our actions, learn from our experiences, and aspire to become better versions of ourselves. Learn from everyone. The Stoics believed that we can learn something from everyone we meet, even those who are flawed or evil. We should keep our eyes open and actively look for opportunities to learn from others. Continuous learning is a lifelong process, and Stoicism provides a framework for personal growth and development that can help us make the most of our learning opportunities. 15. Patience. Mastering the art of waiting. Patience is a key aspect of Stoicism, and the philosophy offers a unique perspective on this virtue. However, patience is not always easy to practice. It requires a great deal of self-control and a willingness to accept things that are beyond our control. Stoicism teaches us that patience is not simply about waiting for something to happen. It is about accepting whatever happens with equanimity. This means that we must learn to remain calm and rational in the face of adversity. By cultivating patience, we can develop a sense of inner peace that will help us to navigate life's challenges with greater ease. In Stoicism, patience is seen as a virtue because it requires us to exercise self-control. When we are patient, we are able to resist the urge to react impulsively to external events. Instead, we can take a step back and assess the situation with a clear and rational mind. This allows us to make better decisions and avoid unnecessary conflict. Practicing patience is not just about waiting for something to happen. It is about developing a mindset that allows us to approach life's challenges with greater ease and grace. By cultivating this virtue, we can become more grounded, more compassionate, and more resilient in the face of adversity. Some practical Stoic techniques for developing patience include: embrace challenges. Stoics encourage you to step out of your comfort zone and take on challenges head-on. This mindset allows you to expand your knowledge and skills by pushing yourself beyond your limits. Accept the things you cannot change. In your journey towards patience, there may be setbacks, failures, or unexpected circumstances that are beyond your control. By embracing the reality of these situations and reframing them as opportunities for growth and learning, you can maintain a positive mindset and keep moving forward. Differentiate between what you can change and what you cannot. The single most important practice in Stoic philosophy is differentiating between what we can change and what we can't, what we have influence over and what we do not. By doing this, we can focus our energy on the things that we can control and let go of the things that we cannot. By practicing patience, we can develop a sense of inner peace and calm that will help us to navigate life's challenges with greater ease. 16. Kindness. Small acts, big impact. Kindness is a fundamental aspect of Stoicism, and it is seen as a natural human behavior. Being kind takes courage and wisdom, especially when situations or other people's behavior is difficult. Kindness is being generous, compassionate, caring, and concerned toward others, without expecting any reward or praise. It is one of a person's most essential and admirable traits, and it makes the world a better place. Stoics believe that the key to living a virtuous life is to cultivate the four cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and moderation. And being kind falls under the virtue of justice, since it involves treating others fairly and with empathy. Stoics believe that every person is doing what they think is the right thing, and finding empathy for the struggles of others is only showing the same courtesy that we all would hope for in return. Kindness is deeply ingrained in Stoicism, and it is the way of rational human beings. It is a sign of strength, and it can dramatically impact one's happiness. Kind people tend to feel more eudaimonic happiness, which is defined by meaning and purpose in life, than hedonic happiness, which is defined by pleasure and comfort. To practice kindness on your Stoic journey, you can start by being kind to yourself and treating yourself with the same compassion and understanding that you would show to others. You can also show kindness to others by being generous, compassionate, caring, and concerned toward them without expecting any reward or praise. Stoics believe that we should even show kindness, as much as possible, to those who are rude to us or who we feel aversion toward. In summary, kindness is a natural human behavior that is deeply ingrained in Stoicism. It is a sign of strength, and it can dramatically impact one's happiness. To practice kindness on your Stoic journey, you can start by being kind to yourself and treating yourself with the same compassion and understanding that you would show to others. You can also show kindness to others by being generous, compassionate, caring, and concerned toward them, without expecting any reward or praise. 17. Courage. Facing your fears. Courage is one of the four virtues in Stoicism, and it is not the absence of fear, but rather the ability to confront and overcome fear. Stoics believe that fear is a natural and inevitable part of life, and it is not something to be avoided or eliminated. Instead, we should learn to confront and overcome our fears in order to live a virtuous and fulfilling life. Courage requires wisdom, which means understanding what we can and cannot control, and acting in accordance with reason and virtue. The ancient Stoics believed that courage bears upon the emotion of fear and helps us properly understand and deal with our feelings, situations, and choices when that feeling of fear arises. Courage is a vital virtue that allows us to confront and overcome our fears and to live a good and meaningful life. By cultivating courage, we can face life's challenges with strength and resilience and find meaning and purpose in our struggles. Being brave means pushing fear aside and following your life's path. It is important to note that courage is not the same as manliness for Stoics. To practice courage, we need to acknowledge the times we have exercised it and reflect on them. We should also discover what frightens us and take steps to face those fears, which will build our confidence and increase our ability to handle unfamiliar situations. Courage is not about being without fear, but about being afraid and doing what needs to be done anyway. 18. Honesty, the foundation of trust. Honesty is a fundamental aspect of Stoicism that lays the foundation for trust. The Stoics believed that the only good or desirable thing is a virtuous character, and all their theory and practice are in service of this primary goal. Honesty is a virtue that is essential to building trust, and it involves being truthful in all aspects of life, including business. The Stoics also believed that the mind or soul must be something corporeal and obey the laws of physics, and all mental states and acts were states of the corporeal soul. They analyzed the activities of the mind on both a physical and logical level, and cognitive experience was evaluated in terms of its propositional structure. In Stoicism, control is a topic explored by the Stoic philosopher Epictetus, author of the Enchiridion. He believed that we should focus on what we can control and accept what we cannot control, which includes being honest in all aspects of life. In summary, honesty is a fundamental aspect of Stoicism that lays the foundation for trust. The Stoics believed that the only good or desirable thing is a virtuous character, and honesty is a virtue that is essential to building trust. They also believed that the mind or soul must be something corporeal and obey the laws of physics, and all mental states and acts were states of the corporeal soul. Finally, control is a topic explored in Stoicism, and being honest is something that we can control. 19. Healthy lifestyle, caring for your body and mind. Stoicism is a philosophy that teaches practical wisdom to help us embrace life's challenges and manage the stress that comes with them. It is centered around self-mastery, perseverance, and wisdom, and encourages the development of 4 key virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. The Stoics believed that happiness was acquired by attaining virtue, or excellence of character, which in turn was acquired by living according to nature. Stoicism sets out to remind us of how unpredictable the world can be, how brief our moment of life is, and how to be steadfast, strong, and in control of ourselves. The philosophy is built for action, not endless debate, and is focused on helping us overcome destructive emotions and act on what can be acted upon. The single most important practice in Stoic philosophy is differentiating between what we can change and what we can't, what we have influence over and what we do not. Stoicism is not just an ancient philosophy, but a practical framework for living a meaningful life. It is an experiential practice that involves consistent training and practice, and incorporates the practice of logic, contemplation on the finite nature of life, and the use of core values to guide one's actions. Practicing Stoicism daily can profoundly impact one's life without requiring impossible effort or magic formulas. Small adjustments, good systems, and the right processes are what it takes to see impressive results. The Stoics did not advocate that one shun all those things which are not up to us. Rather, things such as health, wealth, a good reputation, good food and drink, love and sexual pleasures were things which the Stoic enjoyed if they came his way. Yet, unlike practically everyone else, the Stoic was not attached to them, and his happiness did not depend on them. The philosophy of Stoicism sets as its ideal the attainment of tranquility in the midst of struggles and joy in the midst of hardship. 20. Forgiveness, letting go of resentment. Forgiveness is a conscious, deliberate decision to release feelings of resentment or vengeance towards a person or group who has harmed you, regardless of whether they actually deserve your forgiveness. Stoicism offers a number of philosophical resources to reconceptualize common ways we think about forgiveness. Here are some key points about forgiveness from a Stoic perspective. Forgiveness is not opposed to justice, and it does not contradict justice. Forgiveness is a kindness shown to someone who recognizes they did wrong, not an agreement to pretend it never happened. Forgiveness is key to overcoming anger and resentment. Forgiveness is about self-love and releasing ourselves from the burden of resentment. Forgiveness is not a magical eraser that wipes away fact. Forgiveness is healing and helps us move forward. Forgiveness is a choice that we can make, and it is not always easy. Forgiveness is not about suppressing emotions, but rather managing them. Forgiveness is a way to become ethically better. To forgive someone, we must first acknowledge that people are inherently flawed and make mistakes. We must also be mindful of destructive thinking and avoid junk that revokes resentment towards the person we have forgiven. Forgiveness is not a one-time decision, but rather a continuous effort to let go of negative feelings and move forward. 21. Respect, treating others with dignity. Respect is a fundamental aspect of Stoicism, which emphasizes treating others with dignity and self-respect. According to Epictetus, Stoicism is about living well through dignity and discipline, and he offers 4 rules for living as a Stoic. Speak less, maintain an air of seriousness, focus on developing your mind, and start practicing Stoicism now. The Stoics valued life as a preferred indifferent, and their discipline of action required them to be intimately involved in society, making things better for humanity at large. The concept of dignitas at Rome signified a certain standing or rank in the community, and one deserved treatment appropriate to one's standing. The Stoics reject the idea that forgiveness is opposed to justice and believe that forgiveness does not contradict justice. Stoicism offers a number of philosophical resources to reconceptualize common ways we think about forgiveness. 22. Optimism, a brighter perspective. Optimism is a perspective that focuses on the positive aspects of life. It is the belief that good things will happen and that one can overcome challenges and obstacles. Optimism is often contrasted with pessimism, which is a negative outlook that focuses on the worst-case scenario. Stoicism is a philosophy that emphasizes the importance of reason, self-control, and the acceptance of fate. It teaches that one should focus on what is within their control and accept what is not. Stoicism encourages individuals to cultivate a sense of inner peace and tranquility, even in the face of adversity. Optimism and Stoicism share some similarities, as both emphasize the importance of maintaining a positive outlook and focusing on what is within one's control. However, optimism tends to focus more on the positive aspects of life, while Stoicism emphasizes the acceptance of both positive and negative experiences. One way to cultivate optimism and a Stoic perspective is to practice gratitude. By focusing on the good things in life, one can develop a more positive outlook and a greater sense of inner peace. Another way is to reframe negative experiences in a more positive light. For example, instead of viewing a setback as a failure, one can view it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Overall, optimism and Stoicism are both valuable perspectives that can help individuals lead happier, more fulfilling lives. By focusing on the positive aspects of life and accepting what is beyond our control, we can cultivate a sense of inner peace and resilience in the face of adversity. 23. Responsibility, owning your choices. Responsibility is a key concept in Stoicism, which emphasizes the importance of taking ownership of one's choices and responses. According to Stoic philosophy, most of what happens in life is beyond our control, but we can control our own thoughts, perspectives, values, and actions. This means that we are responsible for our own choices and responses, even in difficult situations. Stoics believe that a person is responsible for an action only if they could have done otherwise. But in a world where actions are causally determined, this can be challenging. However, Stoic philosopher Chrysippus argued that even in a deterministic world, could have done otherwise makes sense, and that an action which a person did not perform may still have been possible for them. Taking responsibility for one's choices and responses is not always easy, but it is a discipline that can help us navigate life's challenges. To become responsible for our lives, we must manage our thoughts, dispel our fears, and modify our behaviors. We must also recognize that we don't control events, but only our responses to them, and that the leverage we have on the outcomes in life lies in these responses. Stoicism also emphasizes communal responsibility, which means that we must hold our community responsible for bad actions and not allow bad things to happen and be excused simply because there wasn't a person that could be held individually responsible. In summary, responsibility is a fundamental concept in Stoicism that emphasizes the importance of taking ownership of one's choices and responses, even in difficult situations. By managing our thoughts, dispelling our fears, and modifying our behaviors, we can become responsible for our lives and navigate life's challenges. 24. Balance, harmony in all things. Stoicism is a philosophy that aims to remind us of how unpredictable the world can be, how brief our moment of life is, and how to be steadfast, strong, and in control of ourselves. It is built for action, not endless debate, and focuses on helping us overcome destructive emotions and act on what can be acted upon. Stoicism has just a few central teachings, and it sets out to strike a balance in the middle by endorsing the twin crucial ideas that virtue is the only true good, in itself sufficient for eudaimonia regardless of one's circumstances, but also that other things like health, education, and wealth may be rationally preferred or dispreferred, as long as one does not confuse them for things with inherent value. The Stoics believed that the practice of virtue is enough to achieve eudaimonia, a well-lived, flourishing life. Stoic writing is much closer to a yoga session or a pre-game warm-up than to a book of philosophy a university professor might write. Stoics practiced what are known as spiritual exercises and drew upon them for strength. The Stoic curriculum is divided into 3 parts that were meant not only to be studied but practiced: physics, logic, and ethics. The Stoics saw physics as the fertile field, logic as a protective fence that kept out corruptions, and ethics as the fruit produced by the integration of these 3 areas of study in our actions. The single most important practice in Stoic philosophy is differentiating between what we can change and what we can't. 25. Focus, one task at a time. In today's world, distractions are everywhere, and it's easy to lose focus. However, ancient Stoic philosophy offers practical tips to help you focus without distractions. Stoicism teaches us to separate things into what we can control and what we can't. By focusing on what we can control, we set ourselves up for a more focused and productive work environment. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius believed in doing what matters most. List your tasks by importance and start with the ones that align most closely with your goals. This was essentially the Stoic practice of asceticism, training oneself to be less affected by external factors. Find a quiet place to work and keep your workspace clean and organized to minimize distractions. At the end of each day, reflect on what you achieved and what could be improved, much like Marcus Aurelius did in his meditations. Adjust your strategies accordingly. To focus on the task at hand, it's important to prioritize tasks and eliminate distractions for better productivity. Devote one-on-one time to each task and avoid multitasking. Visualize the process to the end and focus on one step at a time with undivided attention. Use your visual field to improve focus by setting a timer for 30 seconds and focusing on one object during this time. Finally, mindfulness and meditation are key to focusing on the process and not the outcome. When you lose focus, simply notice that you've strayed from the path, smile, and refocus. By following these Stoic tips, you can improve your focus and productivity without distractions. 26. Adapt to change. Embrace the flow of life. Change is an inevitable part of life, and it is necessary for growth, development, and the formation of anything and everything. However, many people struggle with change and find it difficult to accept. Stoicism offers a way to change how we perceive the world and become more resilient to change. Here are some key takeaways on how to adapt to change and embrace the flow of life according to Stoicism. Change is necessary for existence. Without change, we cannot grow, develop experience, build relationships, form friendships, overcome challenges, suffer, feel pride, love, anger, fear, or motivation. Acceptance is key. Stoicism teaches that we should learn to accept things that are out of our control. And most of the changes we experience in life are not things we have the power to stop. Accepting inevitable changes in the people and the world around us is an important goal of Stoics. Opportunity for growth. Stoics believe that in every change, even changes that seem to be obstacles, there is an opportunity to practice virtue and better ourselves. Mindset matters. The best way to deal with change is to try to change your mindset. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Focus on what you can control. Much of what happens in life is not within our control. The Stoics recognized this undeniable truth and focused instead on what they could do. Develop an internal locus of control and focus on what you can control. Live intentionally. The Stoics emphasized the need for purposeful action. We must take care not to be merely reacting to our circumstances, but to live intentionally. Let go of ego and vanity. The Stoics believed that nothing happens to the wise man against his expectation. Toss away ego and vanity and focus on what truly matters. Change your perspective. You have the power to control the way you see the world. If you can change the way you see change, you'll find that your life becomes fertile soil for personal growth and achievement. In conclusion, Stoicism offers a way to adapt to change and embrace the flow of life. By accepting change, focusing on what we can control, and changing our perspective, we can become more resilient and better equipped to handle the inevitable changes that life brings. 27. Mindset, the power of perspective. Stoicism is a philosophy that emphasizes the power of perspective and dispassionate perception. By taking a neutral and detached view of life events, Stoics aim to diminish the power that fear, anxiety, and external events have over them. They use mental exercises to help them see obstacles objectively and learn not to be intimidated. One such exercise is contemptuous expression, in which they describe a situation or object in the most contemptuous terms possible. Another technique is to describe things without euphemisms, such as referring to roasted meat as a dead animal. The idea is to see things without any enhancement and to change the way we perceive the world to live happier, more positive and more resilient lives. Stoics believe that true inner peace comes from understanding and accepting ourselves, and isolation can facilitate this process. They propose that most of the time, our response to any given situation is a choice, and we have the ability to choose one response over another. By changing what we believe about a thing, we can change our response to it and respond more constructively. Stoicism is a simple practice to lead a happy life, and it emphasizes detachment, rationality, and a balanced perspective. It is not about pessimism or dwelling on negative thoughts, but rather a rational and detached assessment of potential challenges. While Stoicism is an ideal to strive for, it might not always be easily achievable. 28. Self-reflection, the mirror of the soul. Self-reflection is an important practice in Stoicism that allows individuals to gain insight into their thoughts, actions, and values. By reflecting on our actions and past events, we can learn how to grow from them and how to better respond in the future. Stoicism teaches us to stay in the moment and focus on the present, since that is what is at hand. Reflecting like a Stoic is about understanding and learning more about ourselves. We must examine our thoughts, opinions, and actions. Before we look into the different ways of reflecting like a Stoic, we must first set some ground rules. These are important to keep in mind for us to have the best results. It is key to learn to apply reason and rational thoughts to this practice. Reflection doesn't work if we can't be honest with ourselves. It is good to know what happened in the past, but we must now learn to analyze it. It is vital that we can hold ourselves accountable for our own behavior. There are different ways to engage in self-reflection like a Stoic. One way is to examine our beliefs and values and scrutinize our core beliefs and values to see if they are in harmony with Stoic principles such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Another way is to write our thoughts down at the end of the day in honest reflection, which is a powerful tool. Writing has an almost magical ability to turn thoughts into reality. It clarifies our thinking and allows us to review, edit, and plan in a way that thinking without a pen and paper simply does not. Some questions that can serve as prompts to help our daily Stoic reflection include: did I act in contradiction to my values? If yes, why? How will I prevent this in the future? Finally, it is important not to be too hard on ourselves. The ultimate goal of Stoicism and Stoic daily reflection is to strengthen ourselves so that we can help others. It's a bit of a cliché, but it is true that we must first put on our own oxygen mask before we can help others. 29. Love unconditionally, a heart without conditions. Stoicism and love are not incompatible according to the Stoics. The Stoic sage's love is unconditional and doesn't require reciprocation. The Stoics saw themselves as a philosophical school advocating a kind of affection for the rest of mankind, bound up with a philanthropic and cosmopolitan attitude. The Stoics challenge us to love others in a way that is brutally honest and realistic about their mortality and our own, the transience of our relationships and our lack of control over others. Stoic love is moderated by a sense of future loss, by the potential for betrayal, and for the reality that our own feelings might change over time as well. The Stoic lover will prioritize the giving of love over the receiving of it, and will approach love like a general, with a cool head and a strategic plan. Stoicism teaches us that we should be grateful and exercise that mindset daily. Unconditional love is a Stoic ideal. 30. Calmness, navigating storms with poise. Stoicism is a philosophy that emphasizes the importance of staying calm and composed in the face of adversity. According to the Stoics, calmness is within our control, and we can choose how we respond to external circumstances. The Stoics use a number of different tools to stay calm under pressure, and when the world around is chaotic and unpredictable. Here are some principles of Stoicism that can help us navigate storms with poise. Acknowledge that all emotions come from within. The Stoics believe that our emotions are not caused by external events, but rather by our judgments and interpretations of those events. By recognizing this, we can learn to control our emotions and respond to situations in a calm and rational manner. Find someone you respect and use them to stay honest. The Stoics believe that having a mentor or role model can help us stay on track and maintain our composure. By seeking guidance from someone we admire, we can learn from their wisdom and experience. Read purposefully and apply what you learn. The Stoics believed in the importance of continuous learning and self-improvement. By reading and studying philosophy, we can gain new insights and perspectives that can help us stay calm and focused in difficult situations. Practice self-control. The Stoics believed that self-control is essential for living a good and happy life. By learning to control our impulses and desires, we can avoid being overwhelmed by our emotions and make rational decisions. Focus on what is important. The Stoics believed in the importance of focusing on what is truly important in life. By prioritizing our values and goals, we can avoid getting distracted by trivial matters and maintain our inner peace. Accept the things we cannot change. The Stoics believed in accepting the things we cannot change and focusing on what is within our control. By recognizing our limitations and accepting the inevitability of certain events, we can avoid being consumed by anxiety and fear. Endure pain with patience. The Stoics believed in the importance of enduring pain and hardship with patience and fortitude. By accepting the challenges we face and persevering through difficult times, we can develop resilience and strength of character. Be present. The Stoics believed in the importance of living in the present moment and appreciating what we have. Before we conclude our exploration of Stoic principles, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude for your presence on this video. Your time and engagement mean the world to us. If you found these Stoic principles valuable, please consider leaving a comment to share your thoughts and experiences with the Stoic Titans community. Your feedback is immensely appreciated, and if you enjoyed this content, a simple like goes a long way in supporting us and indicating your desire for more. If you haven't already, subscribing to the Stoic Titans channel ensures you'll stay updated with future content, including additional insights into wisdom, philosophy, and personal growth. Thank you once again for being an integral part of this journey, and we eagerly anticipate sharing more wisdom with you in the future. Until next time, may you continue to discover fulfillment and wisdom on your unique path of personal growth.